actually.
Yeah, it's only the beginning, just step by step, one thing at a
Yep.
time, really.
Yep.
All right, we are back in action. On to
Good
episode, what is
morning.
this?
Good
Episode number
afternoon.
5?
Yeah, I
Technically
think so.
4?
This
I want
is
to say 5 or 4.
I wanna say there's 3 in the system. I could be wrong,
Yeah,
there could be a 4th.
yeah, I think there is a 4th. We didn't call it an episode, but it is one, so technically episode
Alright,
number 5.
alright, let's go with that.
Yeah, I like it.
How are you today?
Doing good. How are you?
Super stinking fantastic, but you know
Of,
me.
of
I got
course.
off early today. I had to work I have to work on Saturdays, and the wind was too high, so we had to shut down the job.
Oh, man.
So everybody was off, so I took some time to do some reports that I needed to get out really bad. I was counting on today to finish them, so I got those done and just in time to join an episode of Duo Jive.
That's it. We're a little behind. I mean, we were supposed to record this 2 days ago, but life, man. Life happens.
Life.
Life, man.
Yep. Yep. Especially we got 2 guys working, you with a child.
It's just a part of life. But welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining another episode on this week with your hosts, Noah and Chris. We're on episode number 5, I think we said. Definitely check out our previous episodes if you haven't. We're definitely beginners by all means. So if you listen to them, leave us some feedback on Facebook, or not Facebook, but yeah, I guess Facebook, but any social media platform, but specifically our podcasting platforms like Spotify or Apple Music. Just leave a comment or a review or something, just letting us know what you guys think and how we can improve. But thanks for joining. And
Yep.
another week with two dudes jiving it up.
That's right. Jiving it up is right. Our way, by the way, which I kinda like. I like that a lot.
You said, what's that?
Our way.
Our way.
Our way, yeah. Okay, so quick question. Is it better if I'm in my ear pod or is it
So because now that we're live streaming, it doesn't change. It's only on your earpod now.
okay, so
It's better through your earpod, but you
is
have
it
to change that setting. Can you hear me?
in my yeah, okay, in the live stream. Fair enough. Alright,
Yes, and you can't change it before or after. Or I
not
mean,
something
you can't change it during.
definitely not something to be testing during an episode.
Yeah, it's
Come
all
on.
good. It's all good.
Right on.
All right, but yeah, you sound good. You sound good.
Alright, thanks. So
Our
how's
uploading
life?
is growing. My life right now is super stinking fantastic. Coming out of, I mean, turnaround's still going on, but I'm definitely out of it. As per last week's episode, kind of just recapping what I mentioned on finishing turnaround and kind of moving on from it. And this week, just getting back into the groove of normal day to day refinery life and enjoying the weekends with the fam, going on some mini adventures.
By the way, I've been following along your Instagram account, your TikTok account, your Facebook account. It's freaking awesome. Number 1, you've been doing a good job, but your family's
Well,
beautiful.
thank you.
This is a lot of fun to follow along. A lot of fun to follow
Well, I
along.
appreciate it. It's fun to make, create, and post.
If I'm not mistaken, it kinda looks like you're enjoying being dad.
Oh, yeah, dad mode all the way.
Yes. I One of my greatest joys in life was being dad, or is being dad, really. I'm because 'cause I'm still dad to 3 amazing, and then their spouses, and then now their children. I am blessed.
Oh, yeah,
Nowhere
amen.
near nowhere and not enjoying the fun of that baby youth, that baby time when
Mhm.
you get to be dad.
Yeah.
But, I had my fill, with 3 of
Oh,
them.
yeah. Yep, yep, 3 of us.
Yeah.
3 of us running around.
Yep,
But,
and amazing.
yeah, it's been fun, I'm definitely, I love making memories, so that's a big part of it, and then just recording, you know,
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
little
doing a good
vault
job.
of memories. But, where are you at right now on the
So I
road?
am in actually, I'm in a place where I'm gonna be for just a little while. Normally, I'm 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 6 weeks at the maximum on a project, and I happen to be on a construction project. It's a tank build in a refinery, but it's a plastics refinery in Morris, Illinois. So this is where I was last episode, and I'll continue to be for another probably I'll probably be here until August. It's starting to
Wow.
look like, yeah, they've gotta order a bunch of steel constructed into some of the parts for the roof of this tank, and, it's a very large tank, and, they gotta order those parts, and then they'll put it together here, right? And those parts are coming from Turkey, of all places. So, yeah,
Quite the
I'm hearing
distance.
August for those, then, assembly. So, yeah, I'll be here through August, which is
Right
longer
on.
than I've been at any other job except for when I was down in, Pensacola.
Yes, that was a long job, which Tiff and I appreciated because then we were able to come visit you and enjoy the beach,
Yes, sir.
have accommodations while we were there. Can't complain about that. The
Oh.
downside was when that happened, that's exactly when I got COVID. And being on the beach and having COVID is not a fun combination by any means.
Well, I went through it too, and I just slept it off.
Yeah, so the problem is I couldn't sleep. I was on vacay, so I tried to
Oh.
sleep as much as I could, wasn't getting good sleep, and then was going right back at it to the beach the next day and ventures next day and just too
Mhm,
much going on
mhm,
and
mhm,
not ideal.
mhm. But being young, you recovered very well. That's a good thing.
Did I lose you?
No, am I not here?
Yeah, you're
Hello.
reconnecting, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I remember that trip.
Are you still recording?
It says 87%, and I
Okay,
don't
so you're still
know.
uploading?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm recording at any time.
As long as it says uploading, we're good.
Okay. Alright, well, it'll be uploading on your end, and then I just get a little percentage, a little red percentage light down at the bottom corner of my screen, and that's it.
Okay, so it shows recording?
Yeah,
Okay.
87%,
Okay,
which
perfect.
the connection's not that great here. I'm waiting on my internet to arrive,
Yep.
but as
Yep,
soon as I get
this will
that,
have to
it'll
be just the audio, but it's all good. We'll go back to
alright,
video once your internet arrives or your
right
Wi-Fi.
on, right on.
But we're
Yep,
getting out there. So,
yep.
I'll go ahead and mark this real
Slowly
quick.
but surely.
All right. So, yeah, that as far as that trip goes, yeah, it was a fun time. Definitely. As far as I don't know how much you enjoyed it, but if you end up getting another beach gig, I mean, if there's any incentive, Tiff and I'll definitely visit.
Well, knowing that, I'll be looking for 'em. It's
Okay,
funny
sounds good.
because on a personal level, I don't mind to get a beach job, but it doesn't matter to me, right?
Mhm.
Although I should, I was just told by my sister that my legs are way too white.
Well, I saw the photo. I did. I saw her she posted it. She was
Yeah.
not, she let the world know, and, I got a
Yeah,
kick out of
she
it.
yeah, she knows I don't care, and so she posted it, and she had a lot of fun with it, and so according to that, I need to have a beach job, and I need to, take advantage of it.
Oh, yeah,
So,
we'll be there.
but more importantly, if you guys are gonna be there, and if Lizzie and Dan will be there, and who knows, you know? Although Lizzie and Dan came for different reasons last time,
Yeah. It's gonna
if
be
you'll
a little bit
remember.
trickier to get them to go to the beach.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Dan's got a new
It's funny
job, and then
because,
on top of that, they're not telling me that they're getting married or pregnant.
that was quite the trip. It's funny you mentioned pasty legs because I'm working on my legs and my arms. I'm trying to get away from the farmer's tan right now. You
Mm,
gotta show off the guns and everything like that. Get summer
mm,
bod ready, as they say,
mhm,
and gotta
mhm.
get rid of the farmer's tan. And up here in Wyoming, we're just now getting into summer. It actually snowed 2 days ago, so I wouldn't say summer, but it's
Well, it's
55.
spring at
You know, I
least,
mean, yeah,
and
yeah, yeah. I guess this is
Wyoming's kinda
spring.
known for its snow in the spring.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, but it's hard to get out and take advantage of that when, you're still dealing with snow even in May.
Sure, sure. Yeah, that's
But
man,
once it
snow in
get
May.
once it gets fully summer, then I'll be able to go take advantage of it and get rid of my pasty legs as well.
Well,
Go get
okay,
some
but at
sun on
this
them.
then that's cool. That is cool. You know, one of the things about your social media accounts and being able to follow your adventures is they're centered around the fact that you are in Wyoming, which is unique. A lot of people, they don't quite get that. It is quite unique by comparison to being in any other city in America, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of many reasons why your posts have been so good.
It's definitely like going back in time, you know? It's just, it's a slow pace. A majority of Wyoming is definitely slower pace compared to bigger cities. You know, Cheyenne being the capital and being as close as it is to Denver can get pretty hectic and all that, but as you get deeper into the state, it's definitely, you know, cowboy central, old west, the wild west, true wild west,
Uh-huh.
and pretty cool experience to say the least.
Well, I've always loved it, and it's kinda sad that I'm not able to spend that much time there right at the moment. I know that's
In
getting
due
ready to
time.
change,
Yep, in due time.
and it's in the process of changing, and that's a
We're
good
gonna be
thing.
seeing you this week, actually, this weekend.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'll fly out to, Jackson Thursday.
Man, gonna
Yep,
go and live it up in the most expensive part of Wyoming. For anyone not
compared to many
familiar
parts
with
of the world.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, for anyone not familiar with Wyoming, Jackson is a city up right underneath Yellowstone, the national park, and it is outrageously expensive. I think you have to be at least a multimillionaire to afford a trailer home there. That's the equivalent of what it's like to live in Jackson.
Wait a minute, a multimillionaire to own a trailer?
You know it. You know, one trailer home's probably it's probably going for 300,000. Like, the
I
trailer parks there,
yeah,
maybe a little lower, but still, you
yeah.
know, you should be getting a full house like you would in Texas for that.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Jackson Hole, yep, that is
Well, there was a
Jackson.
recent
It's
article.
beautiful.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
recent article on that, on how it's one of the more expensive places in the United States to visit, and so,
you
yeah,
can do
well,
that
that's
when
where
you're a ski town and you get people that have that type of money arriving, you know what I mean? You can afford to get away with things like that. It just makes it
yeah,
difficult for
yeah,
everyone else.
yeah. Yeah, well, amen. And you're also it's more than a destination town, though. It feels like well, and there were a lot of people moving there from California
Yes,
into Jackson Hole, which changes the overall feel of the city too, you know?
it
I
is
don't know if
very heavy with,
that California vibe.
yeah, the California vibe, I'd say. That's a good way to put it,
Yeah, it is. It's kind of no fun in some ways. I
but
mean,
beautiful in others.
yeah, but beautiful in many others. And the fact that my daughter lives there with one of our grandsons, whoop, whoop, I guess we'll be celebrating her third this weekend. Ye stinking up.
Mm,
It's gonna be
yeah,
fun.
it is
Looking
exciting.
forward to it. Yeah. And Papa Agnet'll be there and everybody's gonna be there.
They just arrived into town, so it's, you know, we're spending some time with them. We actually just got back from lunch with them and then get to hang out with them some more before all heading up to Jackson this coming weekend, next weekend.
Yeah. And yeah, that's awesome. That's freaking awesome.
Agreed.
Well, yeah. So what are our topics? What's heavy on people's minds now or your mind?
Well, I had a few personal topics. I'm actually, that's the one thing I'm lacking in. I will put a marker right here real quick. That's the one thing I'm lacking in. I need to focus more heavy on relevant topics. I've got a few personal topics, kind of just getting into the groove of talking about, you know, you and I. I
Yeah.
like that aspect. We do
Yeah.
need to get into more relevant. So if you have any, that'd be
Okay.
great.
Right on.
But I do have a few topics to start off right now, unless you have one ready to go.
Well, let's start off with yours.
Well, last week we spoke about a health recipe. You know,
We did discuss that. Yes.
my venture into health and
Yes.
losing. Now I'm 97 pounds lost, which is a pretty hefty amount of weight. Still looking for muscle, you know, seeing muscle, but you know, in due time, as time goes on.
Well, yeah, allowing time, my brother, and
Mhm.
staying devoted to it, obviously,
Of
as
course,
you found out.
that's rule number one.
So you made a decision at some point to lose some weight, right?
Yes,
And you weighed how many pounds?
150 on the scale that I remember. It might have been heavier, but I'm going off of that 250 mark.
Okay. 250. That's a heavy place to be as a man, and I'm sure that as women it's even heavier, right? But that's a
Mhm.
heavy place to be. And you noticed that you felt better when you lost that weight and you kept going.
That's exactly what kept me going. It was the feeling of I felt normal at 250 pounds and then lost the weight, a significant amount, not all of it, but like 30 pounds starting out. And all of a sudden felt different in a much better way. And I was like, oh, wow, it's more than just being skinnier and being healthier. It's the overall daily, hourly, every second feeling that you feel, just feeling more motivated and healthy, energetic, less
And I,
lethargic.
for the benefit of our listeners, I would like to suggest that you also felt healthier.
100%, yeah. Yeah, but that's what people always that's the gist, it's like, "Oh, of course, if I lose weight and I eat healthier, I'll feel healthier." With that comes with a lot of things that I didn't realize until I was kind of forced into it.
Okay. You were forced into it?
Yeah, so my kind of jump started with, I had to go through some surgery. I had to get my tonsils taken out, and it forced me to go 3 weeks without eating because 'cause I'm an adult, so it took a little bit more of a healing process after getting my tonsillectomy, and those 3 weeks of just eating soup and not really consuming food, going back to normal, I was like, "I don't wanna eat anything super heavy. I don't wanna feel that feeling of lethargy, and after eating lunch, I feel exhausted and don't wanna work for the rest of the day." It felt
Oh,
wasteful, and
yeah.
then, kept it going. I started incorporating instead of just doing soup, because that's what I was doing when I started to help lose the weight really fast and really drastic at the beginning. I started, incorporating healthier alternatives and lower calories, more proteins, all that good stuff, and then it just kept growing and growing from there.
Which is pretty, it's astounding, right?
Mm,
If you hadn't, your words were before I was forced into it, right? So in theory, you were forced into this place mentally where you were needing where you were losing weight, and you weren't losing weight just because you wanted to lose weight at first,
no. No,
you
it
know?
started with the surgery, and I told myself it's funny because I actually told myself, I said, "My reward after getting this surgery done," it says some people heal as quick as 3 days, and after day number 3, I told myself I'm gonna get myself a Big Mac burger as a reward for getting through this. I'm gonna heal
Okay.
quick enough, which, I mean, healing 3 weeks at that weight, at my size, I had no muscle mass, I was 250 pounds, and I was 5'9". That is not a good culmination together, so it led to a very heavy weight on my body, and I think that was a part of why it took the full 3 weeks to fully heal. And then by the time I was coming out of that, I noticed significant improvements. I mean, I'm talking a faster healing factor and more energy and all of this stuff. But after day number 3, I told myself, I'm gonna eat a burger. Day number 3 rolled around. That was probably the worst pain I've ever felt in my life, getting a tonsillectomy as an adult. And I was like, heck no, I didn't even want to eat soup. But then Tiff was like, you need to eat something, you need to get in your system. And I'm like, you're right. So I ate a little bit of soup, forced it down my throat, and I did. I felt better. And I was like, wow, it's amazing what you can do when you eat healthy foods, healthier foods, and especially
Yeah,
whenever your body needs it
absolutely.
because it needs nourishment.
Amen.
Just figuring out what those things are, because everybody's different. Some people may not require more proteins in their diet than they would fibers or red meats. If you really want to get into the nitty gritty of it all with the macronutrients, it's always good to start with a blood test and figure out what your body is lacking and how you can improve that.
That's a whole nother realm there, though, getting a blood
It
test and
is.
trying to figure out from that angle.
Yeah,
And
it's crazy how far.
it should be a little easier than that.
It's the what?
It should be a little easier than that, you know, than getting a
Ooh,
test and going into too much detail on which ways you're gonna lose weight, I guess. You know? I think you had it right from the very beginning when you were first approaching it as well, beside after the part that you okay, so the first phase was, "I don't wanna eat because 'cause I'm in
yes.
pain from eating." Okay? Getting your tonsils out, it wasn't like you had a scar healing on the outside of the body. It was technically on the inside, right? And the
Yeah,
eating induced pain, which is crazy, right?
very much so.
And you have to know that there was a reason behind that. But I mean, that was step one. Step two, I like how I feel. I want to lose some more. And it was easier than I thought it would be losing weight. I'm going to continue this trend, right? That phase two, I call that phase two, is a really good approach for anybody. A good approach. In other words, look, if I limit my food to a bowl of soup and whatever, however you thought about it, If I limit my eating on a daily basis to this, and this, I'm going to continue this trend. That's impressive. And it's also easy for someone else to do.
Oh, 100%. The hardest part is the beginning hump. Once you figure out, and especially in today's day and age, because everything everyone consumes, 80 to 90% of it is going to be fast food or some form of processed food. And in that, they're putting chemicals and they're putting different ingredients that are going to cause you to want more.
Yep.
In your brain, it's actually going to alter, it's more than just your stomach and going, I can eat more, it tasted good. Your brain's going to go, I need more. And then that's why you continue to eat the McDonald's and you continue to eat the fast food and stuff like that. And it's like a addiction almost, to where there's like this little bit of drug to where you have to get more and you have to keep eating it to keep it satisfied. And,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
that
I get
that
that.
was probably the 2 biggest things was I cut my calories. Here's the funny part. I cut my calories, significantly in my diet, and then I also stopped eating fast food. Now, I did occasionally eat fast food here and there, but it was in moderation, like a cheat day or once a week or once a month type of deal, especially at the beginning. That's the thing. That's the key. Doing things in moderation. So you just remove it. You can remove it altogether, but why? Why not indulge and enjoy in modern amenities and fast food and stuff like that? Just don't do it every day and don't do it all the time. And don't do a lot of it.
Right. Right. Understanding where those boundaries are, that's a big part of it as well. You know,
Yes, very much. That's probably rule number one.
understanding,
Just
understanding where
doing
the
it
boundaries are.
just doing everything in moderation. Yeah, understanding the boundaries and being like, okay, I can get away with eating one plate. I can enjoy this food, but here's the thing: I want to eat a lot, so instead of eating a half a cheeseburger for 1,000 calories, I'm going to. It's a joke. I'm going to eat a thick plate of chicken and broccoli, a whole plate, which is going to fill me up. It may not taste as good, but it's going to fill me up, and I can eat a whole plate for the same amount of calories, if not half that.
Right on. Right
Still
on.
gonna taste good, especially if you're hungry enough. If you're hungry enough, great way to start. Don't use the word diet. A great way to start would be to fast for a whole day, and then day number 2, plan out a 3-course meal or a three meals in a day to where you do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And during that fast day, you plan those meals, and your goal is to keep them as healthy as possible. So that way, whenever the next day rolls around, you're ravenous. And all of a sudden, that eggs and bacon, turkey bacon in the morning is delicious, and that ground beef and broccoli for lunch is delicious, and the chicken and potatoes or chicken and rice for dinner is just delicious. And you kind of alter your brain to teaching it that, oh yeah, healthy foods are good. They're not as good, as addictive. They are as good. They're not as addictive as fast food and ultra processed foods. It's just and it's like a different type of good. It's like oh, I understand this tastes good, but it's there to fuel me. It's not there to give me a satisfying feeling in my tummy and in my brain.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Even though you do enjoy eating. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Limiting yourself. Yep. Absolutely. We need to get into that more, as a matter of fact, I think.
It's a serious rabbit hole. You can go pretty deep into the health aspects of it all, and a lot of stuff that I've learned in this journey, just figuring it all out, still figuring it out. I mean, I'd like to think that I figured out some things, but you never stop learning, and I look
No,
forward to learning more on this.
no, you sure don't. It's great that you got the same schedule while you're in turnaround. I like that.
As
Not used
far
to that.
as
While you're in turnaround, you
the
got the
same
same
schedule,
schedule as your regular schedule. Do you not?
as far as what
But don't you go in at your normal time that
oh,
you
you're
would
saying
go
right now.
into?
You're
Yeah,
saying
right
right now
now.
I have them.
Yeah, right now,
Yes.
aren't you in a normal schedule? That's
Yes, so I
that's
am back to normal, but they are still in turnaround. Yes. Sorry, I was confused there.
that's all right. I didn't set it up very well or approach that very well, but
Transition
I mean, it's
well.
kind
Hey,
of
we're learning.
it's It's to me, it stands out to me because I'm in schedules. I'm constantly in turnaround schedules, right? Seven
Yeah,
twelves, or in my case right now, 6 10s.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, but okay, here's been my logic, and tell me whether or not that you would buy into this or subscribe to it. I'm
Okay.
1,000 miles away from my family, right? Being 1,000 miles away from my family, there's nothing for me to really want to do. So I go to work. I get up in the morning at 4 o'clock, you know, and I get ready and I blend my breakfast, and then I load it up in my carafe and I roll out. And it takes me, in this case, it takes me about 25 minutes to get to the refinery, and I'm there. And it's funny because even though I'm only getting paid for 10, I'm there 11 hours, 11 hours because I go in early and I leave late, you know.
You're a generous man.
I am. I am. But I mean, what else am I going to do, right?
Yes, 100%. I agree with you there. I mean, in a turnaround life like that, to where you're on the road and you're away from everyone, your family and your friends and everything, and you're somewhere new, it can
Hello.
make things tricky as far as having a personal life. You're there
Yeah.
for work, so you want to work
Yeah.
and then get some sleep and then do it again and continue
Yeah.
that until you're done. So,
Although
very
some of
true
my
on
work
that.
buddies, strangely enough, my work buddies tonight, and some of my work buddies and I are going to see a comedian tonight in Chicago. So
Nice. Well, good.
yeah,
So you found something.
yeah, yeah. It was their idea, so I'm just rolling. And I mean, but it won't be as fun without my family there. But I'll enjoy it.
Yes. Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
enjoy it.
If you yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to
Enjoy
talk
it.
about as far as movies?
Well, I mean, last week we spoke on Thunderbolts. We gave our reviews on that. A spoiler, a little. I should have put that in the comments. Spoiler review on Thunderbolts and our thoughts and opinions on it. Fantastic movie. Have you seen any movies this week?
Did I go see a movie this? No, which is strange for me
I
because I
have
like
not either. I
movies.
think a new horror movie or something came out, but not my forte, so I didn't see anything this weekend.
The horror movie that came out this week, I think, was Sinners, was it not?
No, that movie, I don't know what that's about. That's not the horror movie. The horror movie's Clown Killer or something,
Yeah, yeah,
Killer
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Clown or
Clown
whatever.
in a cornfield or something like that. Clown in a cornfield or something like that, huh?
That's what it is. Yep.
Yep, yep, yep. And then, of course, they also had a Final Destination come out, which I was almost tempted to go see.
Never seen any of them. Haunted me as a kid, so will not be attending this one and bringing up those childhood fears.
It's funny because there was a meme of a pile of logs on a truck talking
Huh?
about haunting people.
Oh man, they're just gonna make even more of that with this movie.
Yeah, I guess so. Final Destination, but almost went to see it. Didn't.
Not my cup of tea.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
But
understand. Well,
otherwise, I mean, it's kind of just the looking forward to Fantastic Four for me. That's kind of my hype. Getting into the hype of knowing Fantastic Four. I think 2 months, July. I want to say July. So 2 months from now, we'll be able to go see
yeah.
Fantastic
Well, you
Four,
already
and
got
that's
your
pretty
tickets.
exciting. I have not.
You did? Oh, really?
No, I have not. I don't know where I'm going to see it yet.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, then.
So
I will
still figuring that
leave it
out.
alone then
Yeah.
until you come get some direction on that.
Hmm.
And probably lit a little fire for one to find that information.
Oh
Awesome. Well, then I guess there's nothing really to talk about as far as Marvel.
no.
And I cannot find any decent Marvel quizzes, by the way.
As far as it being difficult, or what do you mean?
Well, no, just as being fun and easy, I mean, to find the answers, if that makes any sense. There are a couple of quizzes out there, but it was way too hard to get to find the answers. And it's like, man, we don't have time for that. So I
Yeah.
left it alone. But who knows? I might find something this week. Did you have one?
I could, yeah. I mean, I can find them pretty easy. I get what you're saying. It's just hard to find a good one. But
Uh-huh.
just to keep the
Come on.
Marvel trivia, do you want to find a different genre? Should we find another genre? We did Marvel
Well,
last week, or no, we did Marvel 2 weeks ago, And then last week we did Marvel
Yep.
and DC. What would be an alternative?
Well, if you don't mind, I'll try again. And if I don't find it, I'll communicate through the week and come up with something for the sake of entertainment for our listeners.
Okay, so you want me to do another Marvel one?
Me? Yeah, you got one? It's been educational for me
Okay. Well then,
as much as it's been fun.
let's go ahead and give her a try, shall we? I think I
Yeah,
have
let's
10
do.
questions here,
All right. Some
and we'll make
Marvel
this
questions
quick.
for me. All right, hit me.
Question number 1 for 10 questions, 10 Marvel questions with Chris. Number 1, which of these characters is not an original Avenger?
This ought to be easy.
Sorry, lost you there for a second.
All right.
We'll resume this. Which of these characters is not an original Avenger? Captain
Well, this should
America,
be easy. All right.
Thor, Scarlet Witch, or Black Widow?
Not an original Avenger?
Yes.
Okay, so Scarlet Witch was added after all three of those, so I'm going to have to say Scarlet Witch.
And you are correct. That is correct.
All
Question number 2. You are 1 for 1.
right. One for one. I like it.
Question number 2. What is Captain America's shield made of? Do you need the multiple choice?
Yes. Well, of
Okay,
course.
we have
Multiple choice is
we
easy.
have adamantium, promethium, carbonadium, or vibranium.
Wait a minute. That just confused me. I'm going to say vibranium.
You are correct. That is 2 for 2.
That confused me for a second there.
You got it. You saved it. All
Hey,
right. Here
I'm
we
glad I did.
go.
I'm glad I went multiple choice because I was going to say adamantium.
All right. Who does Captain America give his shield to in Avengers Endgame? Do you need multiple choice?
Well, he. Oh, actually, I think it was hard for him, but he gave his shield to well, wait a minute, hold on. He gave his shield to who has it now.
Mm-hmm.
So he gave it to Hawkeye or whatever he went by at that point. Well, he wasn't Hawkeye. It was I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, it's not
You're
Winter
close with the
Soldier.
bird. Just the wrong
Yeah,
bird.
right. Yeah, I mean he plays. So he plays the character. He gave his shield to the character that plays Captain America now, and I don't remember what his name was. I am so sorry.
Do you remember what his not his superhero name, but do you remember his name in real life?
In real life,
Yes.
if you wouldn't have asked me,
Okay.
yeah, I
Do you
couldn't
want the multiple
remember.
choice?
Yes, I do.
Okay. We'll go ahead and do that.
All right,
A. Bucky Barnes. 2. Bruce Banner. 3. Sam Wilson. Or 4. Tony Stark.
of course, Sam
Ooh.
Wilson. It
All
was
right,
Sam
you
all the
got
way.
it. All right, 3 for 3. Nice and
Three for
easy.
three. Wait a minute, this is something. There's something wrong with this thing. I'm getting
All
3 for
right.
3. All right, hit me.
Okay, so what's the name of Thor's hammer? We'll give you multiple choice on this.
Yes, I got to go
Vanir,
multiple choice. Huh?
A. Vanir,
Okay.
2 or B. Aesir,
Okay.
C. Mjolnir, or
Okay.
4. Norn.
It's gonna be C, Mjolnir.
That is correct. You are 4 for 4. Good sir.
Man, look out. Look out.
Oh
I'm
snap.
feeling really powerful right at the moment.
All right, and what is the name for question number 5? Who is the guy that shrinks?
Ant-Man,
And what is his real name?
character,
Yeah.
real name.
Like not
Real
in real
name?
life, but his who is the guy that shrinks?
Okay, so Ant-Man's name is, do you have multiple choice?
I do. It is going to be Steve Rogers,
Nope.
Bruce Banner,
Nope.
Bucky Barnes,
Yep.
or Scott Lang.
Yeah, of course, Scott Lang.
Okay, 5 for 5. You are halfway there.
Yeah,
We're gonna
maybe the go ahead. Hit me.
let's see if we can keep this going. How many
I like it.
Infinity Stones are there? Question number 6.
How many Infinity Stones are there? I think
Yes.
did we not have this last week?
Did we?
6?
Do you
Yeah, I think we
remember?
did. Yeah, because I said there was 5, and I got it wrong because there was 6.
Ding ding ding. You are correct. That's
Yeah.
For six.
Yep, 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 yep. I remember it now. All right,
Congratulations. Number 7.
number
What's
7.
Black Widow's actual name? Is it
It's
Natasha Romanoff,
yes,
Natalie Rushman,
no,
Wanda Maximoff, or
no,
Yelena Belova?
no. It was the A.
Natasha Romanoff?
Absolutely.
Is that your final answer?
Really? Yes, it's my final answer.
You are correct. That is 7 for 7. I almost got you there.
You had me thinking really good. That's funny. All right,
All right.
number 8.
All right. Question number 8. We're going to get a little bit more difficult with these three.
All right.
Who is the firstborn child of Odin? Do you want a
First,
multiple choice or do you know it?
the f- the firstborn child of Odin is his only child, and
No,
it's gonna.
Odin.
Okay, so is Odin
Odin had
Thor's
multiple
dad?
children. Of
Odin
course.
had, and how many children? How many children
You
did he
don't know?
have?
Would you like
I don't.
multiple choice?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay, I'm going to give you 4 options.
Okay.
Option number 1, Thor. Option number 2, Loki. Option number 3, Hela. Or option number 4, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man's not one of them. Loki's not one of his kids. Thor's his only kid. It's going to be Thor. Hela is his daughter. Hela is his daughter, but she was born after Thor. She's
She was
older?
born before Thor. Yes, if you remember in Thor 3 Ragnarok, she was born first. Odin raised her, she
Yes.
became evil, and then he locked her
Yes.
up.
She was banished. That is correct. That is correct. Dude, I missed. Yep, you're absolutely right.
We are almost
I
there. Let's see if you can keep it going. You're
All
still
right,
way
all right.
positive.
Well,
So we
I
are
got what? I got 8 out of 9.
we are no, no, no. No, we're on
Yeah.
number 8. We're on number 9 now. You're 7 out of 8.
Okay, okay, okay. All right, we'll go with that. Yep, yep. All right. Hit me.
All right, here we go. Question number 10.
Question number 10.
This is going to be a little bit of a real life question and a Marvel question.
Okay.
Question number 9.
Okay.
Stanley Lee made his final cameo in which Marvel movie?
Final cameo in which Marvel movie? All right,
Would you
hit me
like
with the multiple
4
choice.
questions? Okay,
Yes.
the multiple choice is Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, and Ant-Man.
Ooh. And I know that it wasn't Infinity. He was gone already. Yeah, I know. It's what if, huh? It's gonna be Ultron. Well, Age of Ultron.
Now, keep in mind, Avengers Age of Ultron came out in like 2008. He didn't die until recently. Is that your final
Yeah.
answer?
Well, it's gonna have to be Age of Ultron.
All right, you are
All right.
you are 7 out of 9. You are down
Uh-huh.
2. The correct answer is Avengers Endgame. He ended with a final last cameo with Avengers Endgame. Gonna
Okay.
have
What
to
do you
go
know?
back and watch that.
Yep, gonna have to refresh my memory as to where that was.
Yep,
Do you remember which scene?
I do not. That is actually a good point on my behalf too. I don't remember which scene.
Fascinating. All right. Yeah. Okay. And number 10.
All right. Question number 10. What does Doctor Strange call his cape? The red cape on his back. If you recall from the first Doctor Strange movie, he was very
Yep.
specific on what he called it. Wasn't a name, he just called it something other than cape. What did he
Is it
call it?
multiple choice?
Would you like multiple choice?
Yes, I'm gonna need it. I have
Okay.
no clue until you give
Okay.
me multiple choice.
The
Go ahead.
multiple choice that we're going to be using is a trench coat, a jacket,
Okay.
a cloak,
Okay.
or Ant-Man.
Okay. C, a cloak.
A cloak, that is it.
Wow. I
That
was
was
getting ready
really
to give it
easy.
a name. It was
Yeah,
funny.
I'm glad I gave you multiple choice. It was hard to miss that.
I wouldn't have been anywhere near close. I was thinking of Betty or something. I couldn't
Yeah, yeah,
really.
yeah, like, kinda like Mjolnir with, Thor's hammer.
Yep, yep, yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep, yep.
yeah.
That's
Alright, well,
hilarious.
you got it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you are 8 out of 10, so not too bad, definitely positive. So,
yeah,
congratulations.
yeah. Thanks for taking it
Congratulations.
easy on me
You're
because I
getting
know that
better
there were a
at it.
couple of you were really taking it easy on me.
That multiple choice helps, it makes it more fun, so
Yeah, it sure does. Makes it a little bit easier too. I got 8 out of 10, huh?
mhm, 8 out of 10.
Got
So,
it.
the goal to beat next week is gonna be 8 out of 10. Try to go for that clean
All right.
streak of 10.
All right. All right, I'll go for 10 out of 10 and I'll in the meantime, I guess, do the research to find the answers before the episode.
Yeah, that would help, do some
Find what I
research.
wanted to find was 10 Marvel Universe questions where the answers were readily available so I could screen back and forth, so I could swing back and forth on the screens. But that's going to be a little bit more work. We'll see what we can do
Yes.
about that next week.
Yep. Sounds good. Well,
Awesome.
we'll come back to that next week, but yep, definitely came out positive there. We can go ahead and just move right on to our next topic. Do
Right
you
on.
have one?
Well, something that I've been wanting to talk to our listeners about
Mhm.
is about something that a lot of podcasts don't spend much time on. Some do, right? But in your opinion, what is the most important thing in the world to me?
Your relationship with God?
That's fantastic. And why do you think that is?
Why not else? If not, what's it all for?
Well, okay. I mean, some people might say, well, it's because he healed you in 2018, Chris, which most of our listeners, if anybody's been watching, we talked about that, right? But believe it or not, it has nothing to do with that. It's just the fact that he died, right? God, he created us because he wanted a relationship with us. And then on top of that, he died, was hung on a cross, and then rose again. And the Bible tells me that he would have done it even if it was just for me, which is pretty amazing. And it has inspired me. Now, I have a relationship with life that is super stinking fantastic, right? I am. I'm super stinking fantastic. And a lot of people wonder about it. I get asked all the time about whether or not I am truly super stinking fantastic. And of course, my answer to that is it's easy to be super stinking fantastic when you got a relationship with God like the one that I have. But I guess some people might have questions. I want to try to
The
remind
questions are
people to
good.
be, yeah, just kind of with God.
Now here's the tricky part is how do you teach them that while keeping them invested because it's so easy for people to just shrug it off. It's so easy for them to be like, this is boring." I mean, in today's day and age, they can get consume so much content. Like, for example, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
Do it. That's
What
what I
is your
like.
what is your what is your screen time?
My screen time.
Yes.
I don't have a clue.
Do you have your phone on you?
Yeah, I do. And probably
Do
find
you
it in settings.
Yes, so if you go to your settings app
Uh huh.
and then
And I'm
you
scrolling
scroll down,
down.
you can actually go to
Yep.
the top to the search bar and just type in screen time.
Oh, wow. Yep. Well, now this is funny. I don't want to tell you what it is.
Why not?
Dude, it's 6 hours.
6 hours. That's actually the normal average for an American.
I don't want to have the normal average.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. So here's the downside. This is your 6 hours of screen time. Here's the thing. You could use that for positive. You could use that for posting social media. You could use that for reading your Bible. You could use that for learning a new hobby. You could use that for doing so many different things. Screen time isn't a bad thing, but then you scroll down and you go, "What did I do during that screen time?" And if your highest activity is going to be some form of social media or game like Instagram, TikTok, or just some type of game, and you've spent a majority of your day on that, then it starts to make you question, okay, I spent so much time. I'm not saying it's an idol by any means, but I spent so much time on that because it was just easy. I'm able to sit there and I'm able just to get that little nerve in my brain to be happy and satiated by each scroll. It's a new video, a new thing, and you're not doing. It's called doom scrolling because you're not doing anything positive other than just scrolling, passing the time, wasting your life on a video. It's the equivalent to work. I mean, the benefit to work is you're making money at least. With that being said, it's so hard for today's society. Now I'm getting heavy. Sorry. Don't mean to change your topic, but kind
No,
of
not at all. It is the
connecting to
topic.
yours.
It is
Yes,
the topic.
connecting to yours. How do we keep people invested in that and what you're trying to explain to them, which modern miracles is so big and that's so good to kind of show people and teach them in the right way. But how do you do that even when people have an average of that type of screen time and it's so easy for them to just go and ignore you and scroll? How do you get
Yeah,
them to
it
stop
turns
on your
into a
video?
mind-numbing thing. Ooh,
How do you get them to stop on your
well,
video?
yeah, in today's world, it's gotta be entertaining, right?
Does it?
Well, I mean, why would they stop on it?
Because it's captivating, or maybe like you said, entertaining or drama.
Or touching a nerve by addressing a specific thing in their life, right?
That only amounts to a small percentage though. We're looking to captivate or to have the majority, the population, the we're looking to figure out what it takes to go viral with introducing people to a relationship with God.
Okay, that's pretty powerful. Part of my day and that screen time is me looking for or following or scrolling through spiritual posts. Okay. I start the day off actually first by praying, and then I turn on the scripture to play while I'm getting ready. And then also while I'm driving to work. That's over an hour of scripture every morning. That's not a brag. That's not braggadocious
You
because it's
can't
still
count
it's
listening to the Bible as screen time though.
okay. That's how my
Screen
day
time is
starts.
active. I don't mean to go into the nitty-gritty, but like screen time is
Okay.
active on your phone, using it or watching it, whichever in your however people are using, just in general.
Well,
Anything audio related, you're able to focus on other tasks, whether it's your job or driving or whatever, and listen, kind of like a conversation almost.
that adds a whole new level of a lack of understanding first and how we approach or see our screen time. Maybe have seen it way, I don't know. No. Okay. So I go to work, I spend several hours in meetings, and then I come out to one of the job sites and I'll spend some time with those guys. And then I'll go look up different OSHA statutes and what have you. It's remarkable now that I'm thinking about it, it's absolutely remarkable that I'm actually getting that much time on screen time. That's
It's
pretty
easy.
remarkable.
So, and I don't want you to think that I'm trying to judge you, or I just wanted to
No,
kind of
no.
use you as an kind of show you. And I mean, my screen time is just as high, and I've been trying to work on that as well. It's so easy for it to, the whole point from social media is for them to keep us on as long as possible. So why not constantly feed us with stuff and junk and things and just things that are going to keep us less motivated and less focused on our own chores, hobbies, ventures, whatever,
Yeah.
as a human, as a person, and because of that, it can be very dangerous because it's also a great tool. It's also a fantastic tool, especially if you know how to take advantage of it and learn to use it, which I haven't, but I'd like to think that maybe one day, and get
Working
there
on it.
over time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, work on it and just kind of focus on it and use my time wisely. But screen time, and going back to what we were saying earlier, is something that we can learn from and then hopefully figure out what that trigger is, like you said, entertaining, but different. It's a little more than just entertainment in how we can captivate them with a topic that pertains to God or your big things right now on social media are like TikTok and Instagram are going to be, oh, this happened to me, and bringing your situation and talking about, oh, I almost died. And then
Hmm.
starting off with that and then leading in. softly, not heavy, soft, leading into, and it's because of the fact that I was magic, or not magic, I was miraculously healed by God in the hospital. And then boom, mic drop kind of deal, and then just leave it at that. And then let people come to you and be like, "What do you mean? What is that?" You know, you're getting comments and questions and stuff like that, rather
Sure.
than telling them
Yeah.
your whole story, and it drags on, and then after 30 seconds they've already moved on. It doesn't matter if you're getting views if the views are only 30 seconds long and you've got a 5-minute video.
Heck yeah. Yeah. 5 minutes is pretty long anymore, unless
It's
it's
got to be less than a
a
minute.
show. Unless it's a show, yeah. An actual
So
devoted show.
your story is very, very captivating. So we need to figure out how to utilize that and hopefully allow people to see a modern day miracle. And that might be a great way to kind of start it off, or better yet, don't incorporate the word miracle because they always connect it to the Bible and Jesus and all that, but kind of
Yeah.
lean towards the I almost died. I
Yeah.
had a stroke at 40,
Yeah.
40 something years old. Were you in
Yeah.
your 40s
Uh, so I
or
just
50?
turned 60, and it happened
You're in your
7 years ago.
50s.
I was 53. Yes.
Okay, I had a
Yep.
stroke in my 50s and almost died, but here I am walking on both feet and playing with my grandkids.
Yeah.
You
Praise
start that
God.
off right there like that, and then you end it with, and it was because I was healed by God in the hospital. I had a modern day miracle happen to me in the hospital. You will all of a sudden unlock something that, as long as they're still captivated, to where now people are gonna ask questions and want to see more and watch the next video, that then you can post a video that's not gonna get nearly as many views, but it goes on to show what happened and where that led you and what your thoughts are on it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And well, we may need to approach that sometime.
Yeah, for sure. But in the meantime, just yeah, I definitely, don't I as far as everyone listening, of course, don't forget about your relationship with God. I mean, that's what you were kind of saying earlier, kind of
And
leading
it's
up
where
to
I
it.
was, yeah, it's where I was keying on. I'm gonna almost any week I get a chance to talk to anybody in the world. I'm gonna ask them how their relationship with God is.
Hmm, that's a good way to end it. How's your
All right,
relationship with God?
that's right.
See, now
How is it?
mine was gonna end with, I like yours because it's a question. Mine, my end and like to end my part, I'd say, wow,
Right.
to end my
Yeah.
part would be like just kind of signing off with live life and love God. Leave it
And
at
live it
that.
full. I like it a lot. A lot.
Live life to the fullest, or no, just live life in general. Live life and love God.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yes. And then also love your family. Love being a
Of course.
dad. Love having a little Lincoln running
Can you hear
around.
him in the background?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, he's over there playing with something.
You're so lucky. You are so blessed. I'm happy for you. Very happy for you.
Definitely a big part of it. So thank you.
Yeah. Well, God has
But all right,
blessed. All right, buddy. Well,
we'll go ahead and wrap it up there, everyone. Thanks for joining and listening in.
another episode of Duo Jive.
Another episode of Duo Jive, bringing it out. We'll go ahead and wrap it up here and talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
with that, live life and love God. Chris, any last thoughts?
Live life and love God. How's your relationship with God?
How's your relationship with God? Love it. All right.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Very good.